course, China has responded saying that people should, quote, stop rehashing the lab leak narrative, Liz. The Chinese Communist Party wants all of the speculation to stop, no investigation. At this point, they still don't want investigators into the Wuhan lab. And, you know, Joe Biden has not brought it up.
Well, if you remember, there was a big investigation. A lot of people from the WHO, from our country and around the world converged on Wuhan. They allowed them in the lab, Maria, as I recall it, for less than 3 hours. They met none of the people working on this kind of chain of function research. Basically, the Chinese went out of their way to cover up all kinds of things, including the fact that there were 2 researchers at the Wuhan lab who came down with COVID-like symptoms before the end of 2020. There were all kinds of indications that it came from that lab. Look, the question is, let's assume it happened. What are we going to do about it? And I think that's the problem for this administration. Joe Biden, many Americans think he's compromised because of his family's business activities in China. So what is Joe Biden prepared to do? Will he, lead a movement to kick China out of some of the multinational institutions that they've elbowed their way into and hold such power in? I don't know what the right approach is, but surely there should be some repercussions for killing millions of people around the world, which is what they've done.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're going to have any repercussions, Brandon. I mean, the president has spoken with Xi Jinping 5 times, and we have no evidence that he even ever brought up the origins of COVID-19. He walks on eggshells around this guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's concerning. And I would agree with Liz. I think the problem here is that the Biden administration has not stepped up. As we've seen these investigations produce results, similar results, all pointing in the same direction here. The next question is, what's next? How do we proceed with this information? This is an opportunity for American leadership. COVID didn't just affect our country. It affected the entire globe. It killed millions of people across the globe. This is an opportunity for the United States to demonstrate its leadership and contrast that with what China is doing, with obfuscation, with burying the facts, with making it very, very difficult for the United States and other international investigators to get to the bottom of this. So I'd really like to see Biden step up into this space to demonstrate some leadership. I'm skeptical, but I'm still hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, it's just extraordinary. It killed 1 million Americans and more millions across the world. It shut down our economy. Yeah. I mean, it's just extraordinary. And we have no follow-up. Liz, can you believe that the Democrats did not have one hearing on the origins of COVID-19 in 3 years? Not one hearing.
You know, it became politicized, the entire thing. COVID-19 became politicized immediately because President Trump was president. And they wanted to hang this thing around his neck, and they did successfully do that, blaming him. Now, Joe Biden talks about all the job losses under President Trump. Maria, anyone with a brain knows that the economy was doing super up until COVID-19. So they used it to get rid of a president they didn't like. And the Democrats have absolutely no interest in sort of reviving the idea that, yes, this was something out of our control that was handed to us by the Chinese. The Chinese record on this is despicable. They knew it was happening. They knew. By the way, one of their scientists came out with a vaccine about 3 weeks after they actually acknowledged the presence of this. They knew it for months before they actually fessed up to the world. It's a horrible event in the world's history, and China should be held accountable.
Yeah, and don't forget all of the cornering the market for PPE. Yeah. It's another thing that the CCP did. In the middle of it, they cornered the market, told the ships to turn around and send all the protective equipment back to China rather than delivering it to America. A quick break, and then more voters are fed up.